Hey guys! So it has been a long time since I have come on and I've done a video, but I am back. And for those that are new to my channel, my name is Maggie Bell, and I talk about nutrition, I talk about nursing. And initially, that's what it was. It was about my journey to become a nurse from being a registered dietitian. But then I kind of transitioned to talking about nutrition. But I have had quite a few people reach out to me and let me know that they are actually in nursing, but they want to transition to the field of nutrition. And so, since I had so many people reach out, I wanted to come and do a video. So, before I come on and give my thoughts about transitioning from nursing to nutrition, for those that are new to my page, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I went to undergrad in 2007. It's so weird. I'm trying to say 2007, but I went to undergrad in 2007, and my undergrad degree is in nutrition. And so I graduated from college in 2011, and I went on to dietetic internship that same year, which is what is required in order to be a registered dietitian. And I graduated from that program in 2012, and I took my exam in August of 2012 and became a dietitian, a registered dietitian. And so I didn't go into the field immediately. I actually worked as a graduate assistant because during my program, my program director really stressed to us the importance of getting a master's degree in nutrition because she felt like that was the direction that the profession was going. So I worked as a graduate assistant for 6 months while I worked on my master's degree in nutrition. And then it wasn't until January of 2013 that I started working as a registered dietitian for the state of Arkansas. And so I would say, honestly, probably a few months in, I realized that I really had a desire to do more because I just felt so limited helping people with just their nutrition. So where I worked for the state of Arkansas, but I worked for WIC. And so where I was stationed, I worked with a lot of nurses. And so I saw what they did every day and just how versatile they were and how they were just really beloved by our patients. And so I remember walking up to the head nurse at the time, and I was just like, I see you, I'm watching you, and I was just like, I really have a desire to go to nursing school and become a nurse. And she was like, you should. And so that started my quest to become a nurse. And so I ended up working for the state for about probably another year and a half. So I was a dietitian, or I worked as a dietitian for a total of 2 years. And then I ended up going to nursing school. And the path that I chose was an associate's program because I had just done enough research that I knew that if I went the associate's degree route, that I could probably find an employer that would pay for my bachelor's degree and I wouldn't have to pay for it out of my pocket. So I went to nursing school in 2015 and I graduated in 2016. It was actually an accelerated associate's degree program. So it was only a year and a half. And of course, since I already had a degree, that allowed me to be able to go through that accelerated program. And so I've been a nurse for 8 years now. But while I was working as a nurse, there were still a lot of people that came to me and were asking me about nutrition. And so I decided to start my own business in 2020. It's called Maggie Bell Nutrition and Wellness. And I have a holistic approach to nutrition and wellness. And so now let's get to the question that I've had a lot of people ask me about that are already in nursing, but they want to transition to nutrition. So this is what I've been telling a lot of people. It took me a long time to become a registered dietitian. Like I said, I earned my undergraduate degree, which was 4 years. And then I had to go into a dietetic internship, which is required in order for you to become a registered dietitian. You have to go through a dietetic internship. So that was another year. So now we're at 5 years. Then I went to go get my master's, which took me 2 years. So it really took me 5 years to become a dietitian. But then if you want to add that 7 for that if you want to say it's 7 due to the 2 years working in my master's degree, then you could. Now let me say this. If I would have started my career as a nurse, I honestly would probably not take the path to become a registered dietitian. And it would probably be quicker because I wouldn't have to start from ground zero, because as a nurse you already have a degree, so you're already going to have a lot of the prerequisites that are required to be a dietitian. So now you just have to focus on filling in those gaps with classes that you might need, and then you have to work on trying to get accepted into a dietetic internship, which I will say it's very competitive because there are so many people around the country that are applying for these dietetic internships. And when I was applying, there really weren't that many that were available, and they only took a very small amount. My internship class, it was only 12 of us. And the reality is, everyone that I went to undergrad with, they didn't get accepted into an internship program their first year. So you do have to consider that the road to become a dietitian, it could come with some twists and turns, but it's absolutely doable. And I do think as well, you have to assess where you want to be exactly. Like, what are your goals? Because I do have a lot of people that want to work with me, and they specifically are drawn to me because I am a dietitian. And so if that is kind of what you're getting a feel for, if you feel like people really want to work with a dietitian versus a nutritionist, then going the dietitian role route may be the route that you need to take. However, there are some people out there that they just want nutrition advice from a trusted professional. And as a nurse, you really are a trusted person. I mean, we have been voted the trusted profession for years and years and years. So just you having that registered nurse credential, I feel like brings so much validity and relevance in people's mind, because if you've gone through nursing school, you know that you really don't get a lot of nutrition education. So, but people, I think, just like I said, they trust that since you're a nurse, you know what you're talking about. But the reality is that might not technically be the case. You may not be that sound. But I think if you are interested in going the nutritionist route versus the dietitian route, if you go through a credentialed program and you make it your mission to help people to understand that the program that you went through and the knowledge that you have is valid, it's scientific based, then that could really win people over. And especially if they see that you are having results with your clientele. And I actually worked with someone, or was in a mastermind group with someone that they had their undergraduate degree in nutrition, but they didn't go the dietetic route or the dietitian route for whatever reason. And so they were actually going through a nutrition program called Precision Nutrition. And at the end of it, you get like a credential, and it was a valid program. And then I know also Dr. Mark Hyman, he has a nutritionist program that is excellent from what I can see. And you also get that credential of being a functional nutritionist. So I really do think it's all about, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Like, do you want a business? Do you want to work with other people? What are the needs of your clientele? Like, do you want to be a specialty? You really have to sit down and like write all of these things down and really think about all of these things. And if you're a person of faith and you believe in God, pray over all of these things and ask him what direction would be best for you to go. And I think for me, in the beginning, I used to tell people that would come to me and say that I'm a nurse, but I'm interested in going the nutrition route, I would automatically say, don't go the dietitian route. Like, I just was so set on saying that, but now that I really think about it, I think that you have to assess which direction is best for you. And I think the reason why I tell people don't go the dietitian route is because it's very time consuming. I feel like when I went through it, it was like we learned about the food pyramid. I just feel like and the food pyramid is not even what I teach. And even just and I also feel like it's not aligned with what I believe at this present time, because like I said, my business is really more of a holistic approach, and that is not what a dietetic internship or really what a nutrition degree is. We didn't focus on sleep. We didn't focus on managing your stress. It was a big push to incorporate pharmaceutical medications into your care. So it's just like I said, the things that I learned when I was in school, they don't match with what I believe now. But the reality is that you might be okay with those things. You might be okay with pharmaceutical medications. So if you are, then that might be a good route for you. And also something that I do appreciate a lot when it came to me getting my degree in nutrition and then also going through the internship is there was a heavy push on science. So I took anatomy, physiology, I took biochem, microbiology. I mean, I took all of the sciences. And I really feel like that helped me to understand the body better. It helped me to understand how we process food. And I just feel like I do have a deeper understanding of those things. But at the same time, they may be teaching those things in other courses, especially with Dr. Mark Hyman's program, since he is a physician or a medical doctor. So again, I think it's all about really being clear on what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, who you're trying to serve, because that's just really going to be important in you making the decision on whether or not you want to go more so the nutritionist route or the dietitian route. I also do feel like you've got to establish rapport and trust and just that idea that you know what you're doing no matter what. And I feel like no matter what route you go, as long as you really know who you are, your goals are clear, you know what you're trying to do, you know that your practices are tried and true, like that will be what helps people to gravitate to you. But I hope this helps. I was going back through my old videos and I saw that I have such long videos, and I feel like in a lot of them, it takes me a really long time to get to the point. So my mission is to do more shorter, concise videos that get to the point and that really answer the question. So of course, if you have any questions about what I have mentioned or you have other topics that you want me to bring up, please let me know. I love talking about this. Just let me know in the comments and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.